While America slept, Donald Trump dragged this country into regime change without Congress, without consent, and without a plan. While most Americans were asleep, while families were resting, while kids were dreaming, while this country was not paying attention, the United States launched what can only be described as a regime change operation against Venezuela. Let's be very clear about what happened. In the dead of night, the Trump administration authorized large-scale military strikes inside Venezuela. Those strikes ended with the capture of Nicolas Maduro and his wife, who were then flown to the United States to face charges, not arrested through diplomacy, not removed through international consensus, captured by American force on foreign soil. And here's the part that should make every single American sit up straight. Congress was not notified. No debate, no authorization, no vote. Now, I'm not here to defend Nicolas Maduro. He is an objectively terrible leader. His rule brought corruption, economic collapse, poverty, and suffering to the Venezuelan people. And yes, many Venezuelans celebrated his removal. Two things can be true at the same time. But let me say this plainly. The United States does not get to decide who governs another country at the barrel of a gun. That is not democracy. That is not peace. That is not law and order. This administration wants you to believe this was about drugs. They want you to believe this was about narco-terrorism. But let's stop playing games. Venezuela is not a major source of fentanyl entering the United States. The data does not support that claim. Less than 1%, if that. And if Donald Trump truly cared about stopping drug trafficking, he wouldn't have pardoned leaders who openly bragged about flooding the U.S. with cocaine. Actions matter more than talking points. What we are witnessing is something far more dangerous. This is the normalization of unilateral war. This is the erosion of constitutional limits. This is the idea that a president can launch military action, overthrow foreign leadership, and call it successful 4 hours after it happens. History tells us this story never ends the way it's promised. The hard part isn't removing a weakened dictator. The hard part is what comes next. And make no mistake, everything that happens in Venezuela from this moment forward belongs to the Trump administration. The instability, the power vacuum, the violence, the fallout. And let's talk about the Constitution, because apparently this White House doesn't want to. The president does not have the authority to start a war alone. That power belongs to Congress, period. Midnight bombs do not replace democratic accountability. What's even more telling, some of Trump's own supporters are now asking the same question the rest of us are asking. Why Venezuela? What provoked this? And the answer is simple: nothing did. This was a choice, a dangerous one. Trump ran on no new wars, and now his voters are watching him do exactly what he promised he wouldn't. That's not strength. That's betrayal. You don't preserve peace by breaking international law. You don't defend democracy by ignoring your own constitution. And you don't make America safer by setting the precedent that regime change by force is acceptable. This is how wars start. Quietly, overnight, without consent, and we ignore it at our own peril.